We baked a 4-foot Christmas cookie.
The world's largest Christmas cookie.
That's over 23 pounds of dough and frosting, which is the same as about 252 regular cookies. And we didn't just make a giant cookie. We made a minion Christmas cookie wearing a Santa hat.
It's gonna be fun to pull it off, so we're gonna piece it together.
We knew it was gonna be big, but we didn't expect how many challenges would come with it. This whole idea started when I was researching for my last video. I found out there's a record for the world's largest chocolate chip cookie, and there's a record for the world's largest gingerbread cookie, but nothing for a Christmas cookie, which honestly didn't make any sense to me. If any cookie deserves a world record, it's a Christmas cookie. And since my sister's kids have been asking to help with the video, I brought the idea to my sister and I said, what if we made one? Like a giant cookie shaped like a minion, but wearing a Santa hat. I laughed, she laughed, and somehow it turned into a plan. Now, I'm not the baker in the family, she is.
Whoa.
He usually shows up and just frosts and eats, or just
Yes,
eats.
I do
Not
the eating
just
part.
it.
The 264, how much is that gonna?
So baking, measuring matters, so it can't be that.
So right away, I knew I'd be following her lead. Before we even started baking, we had to figure out the shape. We printed a giant design, taped it together, and realized fast that there was no way a full 4-foot cookie would ever fit into an oven. So we split the template into bottom, middle, and top section. It was the only way we were gonna pull this off. We rolled the dough onto parchment and laid the giant paper cutout on top. That let us trace and cut out 3 huge pieces. We made all the dough days ahead, close to 12 or 13 pounds total. Basically the same as making 252 Christmas cookies. When we put all the dough on the scale, it just read error. That's when it clicked. We weren't just making a big cookie, we were trying to push the limit.
So we're rolling the dice.
100. That's why I'm only baking one first.
And that's where the oven became a problem.
Okay, so this is the size most people have. Okay. This is the size where I can't even hold it with one hand. That's the size we're using.
But she says it expands when we cook it.
Which is why we're gonna bake it on the opposite side of the pan.
So we're gonna be cooking it on this side.
So we flipped the cookie sheets upside down to squeeze out a few more inches of space and to make it easier to slide the pieces off without breaking them.
Okay, we're going in the oven.
The downside was there's no edges, which meant the dough could spread, get bigger, and literally just slip right off the sheet while baking. So every time we opened the oven, we were hoping everything stayed in place. When the pieces finally came out,
Do we want to go put it outside?
Yep.
we brought them outside to cool. It was about 40 degrees, which was perfect. If we wanted to finish this cookie in one day, the pieces had to be completely cooled, or frosting would melt and the colors would bleed together. So the cold air basically saved us. Once they cooled, we brought them all back inside and started lining all 3 sections up on the table. We trimmed a thin layer off the edges where each piece would connect to make the seams cleaner. And then we used royal icing to seal everything together.
So to get the 3 pieces together and not go anywhere, you have to have a strong, hard glue type frosting. It still tastes good. It's just like hard. It's what most sugar cookie frostings, the way that they do. Well, we don't use this. We use this for like cement.
Before we even started coloring anything, we wanted to give him actual goggles. So we made these giant 3D goggles and even added eyeballs to make the whole thing pop. And the funny part is, one of his eyeballs was literally the size of a normal Christmas cookie. Seeing that all on the table really showed how big this thing actually was. Then came the frosting, which I honestly thought was going to be the easiest part, but I didn't think about how hard it is to get the colors right, or how many different types of frosting you have to make. You use the thicker icings for outlines and the more liquid version to fill in the bigger areas. And honestly, doing it that way at this scale probably saved us a lot of time and made the whole cookie look way cleaner. My sister actually came up with the idea to use fluffy buttermilk frosting for the Santa hat and the cuffs on the outfit. Once we finished decorating everything, the little details are what ended up making the biggest difference. The texture on the pants, the outlines, the tiny details in the eyes. And when we stepped back, seeing this thing standing 4 feet tall did not feel real.
Right there. Yeah, good.
49 inches. We even put my sister's daughter on the table next to it, and the cookie was literally taller than her. That's when it really hit us how big it actually was.
This is the world's largest Christmas cookie.
But the size wasn't the only thing we cared about. We also wanted it to taste good. Usually when people make something bigger, the taste gets worse, but this tasted exactly like the Christmas cookie I grew up loving. And that honestly made me proud. If you're still watching, I'll throw the recipe up on the screen if you want to try making it yourself. And yeah, I'm going to be submitting this to Guinness for the world's largest Christmas cookie. And if they approve it, awesome. If not, this whole day with my family is something I'll appreciate forever.